third category, as I told you, the fixed debt, variable debt, the third category is those who are over leveraged. Now, the over leverage happens in three ways. People think over leverage, they borrow too much, but it's not true. Over leverage could be three things. The revenue dropped or revenue didn't increase like they thought. I have plenty of acquaintances that got into the syndication business. They got apartment buildings and they got the money from investors and they got in and they got those what you call teaser rates. First 2 years, interest only. On the third year, it's gonna amortize for the remainder of the term. And guess what? They thought in the first 2 years, they're gonna kick some people out, get the rent higher. And as they were doing this process, they found out rent is not going higher. People are complaining about utilities, people are leaving, people are losing jobs. Look at Silicon Valley from San Jose, California, all the way to small outside Kansas City place. People are not having the same solvency. You understand? Solvency is being solvent, having the cash flow to be able to sustain. So if the revenue is not here for these apartment buildings, and now combined with debt that's gonna change, and other expenses, that third part of the trifecta of disaster, then they have a problem. What's the trifecta of disaster? Revenue not there, decreasing or not increasing as anticipated. Debt that is changing or unsustainable. And number three, other expenses that are becoming an issue. Electricity went up. The gardener came in and said, for the common areas, I can charge you the same. Because to get to you, it's costing me more gas and more this and more that. Other expenses like my Airbnb cost went up, but it got offset by increased Airbnb prices. We're going into a very busy season here for the Caribbean, for example. We're booked, we're doing very well. But then I'm starting to think, okay, let me look here. What's better? Do I go with long-term rent and no expenses of Airbnb, or do I go with Airbnb? And guess what? Like a good percentage of the portfolio, maybe 20, 25% will have to go long-term and not continue Airbnb, because I don't want these variable of cost and seasonal stuff. So those who are over leveraged are the ones that are gonna be experiencing a bloodbath. I'm gonna tell you right now, those who don't have at least 15 years experience in the real estate market of the United States of America are gonna be so massacred, especially if they got these interest-only apartment building and I'm gonna go amortized. I just borrowed so much from the investors and I promised them 65% of the upside if we sell on the fifth year, and the fifth year is coming up next year. Guess what? Ain't gonna happen. Plan is gonna change. You better have very good rapport with your investors. SEC is anticipating to be extremely busy, and SEC has been on fire since COVID finished, and they have the fiduciary responsibility to make sure everything is done right. And now with this FTX disaster, these people that stole billions of dollars with the crypto, that's a disaster in the crypto market. And it just, I mean, the first 4 or 5 months of next year are gonna be very interesting for those who are over leveraged. Don't be over leveraged. Most of your problems in life come from two areas: liquor and leverage. Thank God I don't drink, and I leverage as conservatively as I can. Nevertheless, if your loan is coming to renewal and the lender tells you, hey, based on the new terms, the interest rate is gonna go up 4% on your payments, good luck. What are you gonna go do? Tell the tenants you gotta pay me 30% more, 40% more? Very, very difficult time. So you have to be very creative, very creative. You gotta work incentives. There are many, many ways to do this. Actually, you can go and have somebody prepay rent for a period of time, get a discount. But the problem when the market is difficult is a problem of liquidity. People can sell, can borrow, unless it's very high cost and they have equity. So my suggestion for, if you think you're gonna be able to find these over-leveraged people, which is probably 50% of the people are gonna be in trouble, create a real estate fund. This is what happened to me in 2009. In 2009, I was I was liquid. I had a lot of reserves. That's how I survived all these markets for years. That's how I'm able to talk about it with confidence and certainty. And in 2009, I was doing an event in San Mateo, California, next to the airport of San Francisco. And I was showing how I made money buying this property at this price, paying cash, and then 30 days later sold it, made so much. And that's when people started saying, well, I have the cash, but the bank is not giving me loans. Well, I'm finding these, but I can't put them together. Well, I would like to participate in this, but I don't have enough cash. I have credit lines, but they're going to shut them down because I need to withdraw them. But where do I? And that's when I said, this is what I'm doing. And one gentleman stood up and said, what if I give you the money? Can you do it for me and just pay me something reasonable? And that's when I asked the audience, how many people would like to just give me the money, jokingly? And I raised my hand, everybody raised their hand. I set up the real estate fund in 2009. One of the best things I've ever done. If I knew how good the world of funds were and how it compounds on itself, you want to do things that have residual value in your life. I would have set up that when I was a lot younger, but it worked out great. And I'm telling you, if you, Garrett, want to scale your game, if you know how to do it and want to just now create a bigger game to make more money. So in one transaction, you're not doing a $100,000 deal, but doing $1 million or whatever, then set up a real estate fund. We set up real estate funds. We'll show you how it's done. It's not that expensive to do it. We do it turnkey and go out there and start telling people, here's the deal. I think you'll be great. Let's come in together and do it. And then one person brings you another, and then you become good at pitching and presenting and offering, and it goes to the next level. So long answer for this, but it's a very important thing. Fixed debt, you'll be able to work deals with. Variable debt, they're gonna lose some, work with them so they come to you instead of others. Over leveraged people are gonna be the bloodbath of the market, and there will be some incredible deals to go in and make.